I get asked so much how I clean my hamster cages, how often I clean them, etc. So I figured I would make this video for you guys just to show you. I don't do full cage cleanouts, and the reason for that is because full cage cleanouts are very stressful. Hamsters rely on their sense of smell primarily to get around, and by removing all the bedding or just changing the layout completely, that also removes that sense of familiarity and smell, and so that can be very stressful for your hamster. So what I do instead is I just spot clean. And I do this whenever I feel like I have to, if I see things lying around and it's looking a little bit more messy, or you can kind of smell it as well sometimes. I don't have a specific schedule of cleaning the cages. It's much more just seeing what there is to do and when to do it, and then I'll do it. Hamsters have pee areas often, and so you can find those in areas sometimes close to where they're sleeping, or basically you just have to look for them, and you can just remove the old bedding and put in some fresh bedding right there. In Truffle's case, his is in his multi-chamber hide, and as you can see, I did have to wake him up for this today. Normally, I only clean his pee areas very late at night just so that he doesn't get woken up and get stressed like that. But in this case, I had to wake him up because he had some food lying around in his cage and I was just wanting to check up on him and I was a little bit worried about him. But normally I wouldn't do that. As you can see in all these clips, Truffle is incredibly stressed, and I'm just cleaning out his pee area. I'm not even cleaning out his whole entire enclosure. And whilst Truffle is a little bit more skittish than the average hamster, he is still a normal hamster, and this is a common reaction that many hamsters show. So it just really goes to show how stressed hamsters get when people clean their whole cage. And don't get me wrong, I completely understand why it might be disgusting to think that you just leave all the bedding in there their whole lives and you only clean out the pee area. And sometimes I do remove like the top layer of bedding if there's a lot of food scraps lying around or something like that. But honestly, hamsters are very clean animals and they tend to just pee in certain areas. And if your cage is big enough, which it should be, there's absolutely no need to remove huge amounts of bedding that your hamster might not even have touched if it's deep enough, which again, it should be. I think when people see larger hamster cages, they often get overwhelmed thinking that the owner spends huge amounts of time every weekend cleaning the whole thing out, adding new bedding, setting it all up again, when in reality, this literally took me like 10 minutes, and I don't even do it every week. I'm not sure how often I do it, I just kind of do it when it needs to be done, but it really does not take a lot of time, and so this is honestly not something that should scare you enough from getting a large enclosure. It's a shame that a lot of people are so worried about having to clean the cage that they don't give their hamster what it needs, which is a large enclosure. But once I'm done with all the cleaning, I just go in with some dried leaves, some dried flowers, and just make it look a little bit more pretty again. As you can see, Truffle's wheel is not in his cage right now because I'm currently cleaning it, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you have any questions or comments or video ideas, let me know down below. Bye!
She stands on the sideline, dances slow and looks at me. She must be the sunlight, shines a little more tonight. I know I tried